So we're packing up here at Lost Maples State Park, getting ready to head to Garner State Park. And I've been dawdling a little bit. I probably won't get out of here until noon, but the path to Garner is via the Twisted Sisters. So I'll show you some of the highlights of that trip, but if you want more of them, there'll be other videos on my channel documenting this trip. But the key thing is, once I get to Garner State Park, I want to wander around and see how it is for a motorcycle camper. And I'm really hoping I get there in time to be able to do a little bit of swimming in those spring-fed rivers. Should feel great this time of year. It's mid-October here. Though I am kind of surprised, the leaves are starting to change. Normally it isn't until November, so the view has been spectacular so far. So come along for a fun little motorcycle ride over the Twisted Sisters heading to Garner State Park. I made it before sunset. Not much more before sunset. It took me a while to figure out what was going on with the state park. They call it New Garner State Park, Old Garner State Park, but they never label sections new or old. You have to find a subcategory where they'll tell you the different areas, and then if it's new or old. It confused the hell out of me, wasted about 10 minutes of time checking in. And then I come around here and I look at all the sites trying to pick one out. And online, there are 30 sites here that are available. But when I come here, there's a little R sign reserved for every single one of them. The only thing I could think of is whenever it closes, they basically come around and put a reserve for all the sites that are reserved for the next day. And there's some kind of event going on. So my only option is to say, pick one of the reserved sites, because there are evidently hundreds of sites available for tonight, but all those have an R on them. And there's nobody in them, so I'm just going to go for it. So let's get set up. I'm not going to do the full setup. I'm just going to do my tent and get to sleep, and then when we wake up, I'll wander around the park. And that's that. Time to hit the showers and get cleaned up. So, it's a little bit before 9 a.m. in the morning. The site was okay over the night. Real raccoon problem here overnight, I could tell you that one. But it was kind of nice hearing coyotes in the background, that kind of stuff. The sky was clear. You got to watch the stars. Temperatures were just perfect. Humidity was just perfect. But then about 8 o'clock in the morning, I got woken up by the park ranger telling me, asking me where my vehicle pass was. I needed to go get a vehicle pass, that kind of stuff, and tell me I had to go get it right then and there. So I got up, I went over to the park pass people. I took my receipt from coming in last night, because basically last night, y'all saw in the video, I came in. I have a state park pass, so I get into all state parks for free. I came over to this area. I drove around a couple of times. I picked a site out that I didn't see anything there. And once again, 3/4 of the sites were empty, and all the empty ones had a little R tag on them, meaning they were reserved. But I went online, and all the ones that were empty and R tag, or most of them, were available. So it tells me that they just come along at the end of the day and put R tags for all reservations for the next day. Only one person came into this park after me. So that tells me just another night person came in the same way. So I went into the office, and I don't know what to tell you. My initial review of the place here is, this is people enjoying a fiefdom. Because basically it turned out that I had paid the park pass. I had filled out all my paperwork, right? They had my cash in hand. They actually pulled the envelope I turned in the office. It was all written up in there. It just wasn't in their computer the right way. No apologies, no nothing. I spent 20 minutes at their desk while they went through every single screen they could, it seemed like. Pulled up my account, all my information was there, all that kind of stuff. It was just them exercising power over you. Let me just say, it was a bad impression. I'm hoping the rest of the park will be a lot better. I plan on doing a little bit of walking around. I'll drive around and show you that one. But my initial impression, or my second impression of Garner State Park, is there's some fiefdom action here. So if you don't mind having to deal with the politics of it all, maybe head down to Lost Maples. It's only about 20 minutes away. I found it much more pleasant. But as for the physical location for motorcyclists, nice flat ground, not as much vegetation to soften sleeping on it. You're on dirt and rocks on pretty much every site here, and parking was close by. I will say, you can hear a chainsaw right there. That started right when I got back from the office, a little bit before 9 o'clock. So That's that too. Either way, I'm heading home today by way of Farm Road 39, so it should be pretty fun. And I'll document that in a later video. Time to go for a motorcycle ride after I pack up. Okay, I might have been a little bit too down on this park, Garner State Park, than I really meant to in that last little clip. I'm going to give you a tour of the full park here. I've never been here before. I looked at the map. I found a tent site where I thought I wanted to go. It was in the new section. I thought so it might be in the better section. There are definitely two parks here. One is really nice, probably a little bit more older, but it's right by the water. It just seems a much more relaxing place. I wish I'd known about that when I came here. The section I stayed in, it was more for the people that were just kind of camping overnight and then maybe going and parking and hiking or something like that. Some families came in there and then moved over there, or maybe the more socially awkward that didn't want to be around a little bit more of an active scene with families and stuff. A little bit quieter area, but it was kind of a, I don't want to call it rundown, but it was a lot plainer. The site I'm going to show you is a lot nicer, and if I'd been there, I would have woken up in the morning and gone for a swim because it looked really nice. Anyways, here's a tour of the rest of the park.